studying to get away from the busy life for a while? Then I've got some tips for you. Here are some of the problems that I see many of the students, especially in the higher classes, facing. Tell me if you can relate. They aren't able to cope up with which test and what tuition to study first. They aren't having the time to relax. They don't have a proper sleep schedule, waking up at a ridiculous hour, going to bed at an equally ridiculous hour, sleeping 3 hours, etc. They have very little time, as much as this much time, for other activities. They aren't enthusiastic about their studies and they want to get away from it all, but as it happens, they can't. And I do not want a life like that. I still want to be making these videos, watching movies, going around town, reading books, etc., while also studying, just as I've been doing all these years. So this is what I do. While creating my to-do list, I divide the tasks into these 4 sections. Write the question answers, read/revise, memorize, the project session. Now, even if I get 2 pages of each thing done, I'm satisfied. Funny enough, my self-studying routine has fallen into the 4 laws mentioned in Atomic Habits. So let me break things down on the basis of that. In the book, James Clear mentions these 4 laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. I religiously plan everything in my life, and especially my studies. If I don't plan, I procrastinate. Referring to the quote, I have time blocked specific parts of my day for certain activities, like studying, doing the project works, even my break times and meal times. So that's for the when side of things, and as for the where side of things, let me explain. Now, as things are, I tend to be attracted to my laptop fairly often, and that means that I like studying from my laptop as well. Therefore, I create my practice sets on Notion, which is mostly on my laptop. Now, that is what felt like the most practical thing for me to do, because I'm ready to resort to anything that favors my studying process and makes studying the obvious thing to do. Now, of course, I have that much self-control where even if I pull out my computer, I do not waste hours watching videos, etc. I've tried to keep things fairly simple and easy to reach so that studying is the thing that I default to if I don't have anything better to do. As a human being, I am naturally drawn towards things that I feel are attractive. After watching all these study tube videos and all, I realized that I really wanted my studies and syllabus to feel more warm and welcoming, and so I made the notes accordingly. What I did for that was I used different symbols and emojis in place of words to describe the certain qualities of the topic at hand. For example, if I'm making my notes on a chapter in chemistry, I use these different smileys. And for geography, I use the raindrops kind of symbols and plants as bullet points. I like to keep things very easy and simple, not too much of complexities, and starting small with less of things on my to-do list, and even creating my to-do list based on the other activities that I may have that day. Things are really flexible on my side. One day if I feel, for example on Thursday, that I need to do 4 hours of project work and only 2 hours of study, and if that is what the situation demands, then I'm ready to do that, even if that means studying less than usual. I don't like pressurizing myself too hard on anything. If one day I don't feel like it, then I don't do any of the studies, but instead I focus on the other things that I like to do. I'm a big believer in building a strong and warm and cozy relationship with my studies, and certainly not a frightening one. I would rather take a whole day off and then do my job with full enthusiasm for the rest of the week and beyond than being very strict and not taking care of my needs and ultimately dreading the whole process. Okay, so I have a lot to share in this department. The entire practice set thing. The idea behind creating the practice set is to make the revision process more satisfying, relaxing, and more like a game. Last week you may have seen me putting different background colors to different questions. Well, the simple reason behind that is to check my accuracy level. If I could answer a question flawlessly, then I get a green. If I missed out one point, then I get a yellow. If there were multiple errors, then an orange. And if I completely blacked out seeing a question, then it's an obvious red. This way when I revise again, I can start with the non-green ones first and then move on to the greens. So the end goal after each session is to increase the number of greens as much as possible and reduce the non-greens to 0. And also the different symbols and emojis that I can add here and there, plus the cover image makes the entire atmosphere look more satisfying and makes it more like a play than work. And at the end of the day, isn't that something we all want, where we all study, but it doesn't feel like work, it feels like play. Plus, I've also started using flashcards for the revision purposes. I've also ordered a set of 200 flashcards. We'll see how that goes. Well, that was all I had to share in today's video. If you liked it, then give it a like. And if you're an ICSE student as well, preparing for the ICSE 2023-24, then let me know in the comments below. I would love to know how many of us are in this process together. Till then, here's a playlist for you to watch, and I'll see you over there. Bye.